Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome to the From the Depths April 1st showcase with me, Lathrix. And of course, welcome to our first vehicle, the Angry Chicken, which is now a wind-up toy chicken, complete with wind-up key, flapping wings, moving feet, and even missiles at the rear. And to top it all off, laser eyes. Yes, it turns out that From the Depths has been rather busy in the last few days, replacing a lot of the vehicles from the Deepwater Guard with very interesting variants, most of them sort of just outright ludicrous, and some of them almost a little bit creepy. So what we're going to be doing is showing them off one at a time, and then fighting them against each other to see who is the king of the April 1st variants. So that was the Angry Chicken. So what could possibly top a robotic chicken with laser eyes? Well, of course, we have the Rubber Ducky, which is the Marauder, complete with apparently movable items, although it doesn't seem to be online right now. I think it turns on during combat, and cram cannons for its little beak. It's adorable, it costs over 200,000 metal, making it really, really expensive, and honestly, it actually looks pretty tanky. But how could you possibly shoot that little face to begin with? Next up, the one, the only, we have the avatar itself, the Rambot, and it is sporting a glorious shotgun, amazing thrusters, and even a missile arm. This is replacing the Orca, and honestly, like a lot of these vehicles, it's absolutely amazing. Each of the limbs, the two legs and the two arms, are actually separate vehicles from the torso and the head. The drone arm left, the drone arm right, the drone Rambot leg, and of course Rambot leg 1, with the mothership itself being the Orca. I am honestly hoping this one wins because that is phenomenally amazing. But what could possibly top a flying avatar? Of course, we have the flying sheep. Of course we do. It has two cannons, it has a spinning axe for flight, it farts fire apparently, and it has one of the creepiest expressions I've seen in a while. I'm sorry, but there's something about its vacant eyes that just creeps me out far more than it should. The paddle gunner has now been completely replaced with a tank being powered by a hamster wheel. I don't know what I could possibly say to this other than it is absolutely amazing. I also didn't quite realise just how many we actually have in terms of the new vehicles, so I'll probably be splitting the videos into two, one to showcase all the new vehicles and then one just to fight them against each other. Now I feel really bad though because they're all so very adorable. I get a bizarre feeling that I've actually seen this one before. So here we are with the pirate sheep, complete with the ship's wheel just to make sure it stays in the air, and yet it still has its eerie creepiness in the form of the most apathetic gaze in all animal kind. And it even has one of its little feet replaced with a hook and the other one with a peg leg. Really, the creators of these designs need to be patted on the back. There are some seriously creative things being showcased today. Before we move on to the next, however, I would like to see if the paddle gunner can move on land. It really should be able to, as I believe all of that is made out of rubber. So, will it be able to? Yes, yes it will. And I think the next design as well will be able to transverse the mountains. But there we are. The amazing tank hamster hybrid, happily going along the land and thus going back into the water. So, what was the other vehicle then? The other vehicle is not you, it's you. It is, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. And yep, Although it looks more like a mouse in this case than a hedgehog, it is completely fine on land, although it is taking a little bit of damage. I think the front is rubber. No, the front isn't rubber. I thought that was rubber as well, but apparently it wasn't. Back into the ocean you go, my little mousy hedgehoggy friend. So what else do we have then, which we can spawn above the land? How about the flying squirrel? No, the flying squirrel is now a homing pigeon and should not be spawned above the land. So let's pretend that didn't happen and spawn it again. There we go. That is actually really graceful. That has been really well balanced. Is that a thruster craft or a true plane? I can't quite tell. No, I think it's a true plane. It does have wings. Okay. It has wings in its wings, believe it or not. There's the hamster wheel happily going along the side. This is becoming a very, very curious video. I think we've been a little bit harsh on the vehicles so far, so let's spawn them on a much flatter area of land instead. And we're going to go back to the angry chicken, so we can showcase this actually on the land. The big problem it has, of course, is that although it does look like it should be able to bounce on the land, how the legs move, it kind of just causes it to waddle in place very angrily. So let's just leave that there and see what else is available. They have got a little bit mental with how many they've actually changed. Has the mule changed? Nope, it hasn't. The only reason it has ridiculous colours is because it's using my colour scheme rather than the standard. The Atlas retrofit is just the sheep, which leads us onto the antlion and the flying squirrel, which means the wander is the next thing. The wander once again with the flying sheep, now with the ultimate jetpack thruster sheep. Okay, that may be my favourite so far. In fact, that is definitely my favourite so far, but is it just skimming the water on purpose? Or is it just the fact it can't go up? No, it is actually skimming the water on purpose, it's going down. That makes it even better by a long shot, although I can't see any weapons. Oh yes I can, there are missile launchers hidden in the jetpack itself. That is simply fantastic. I think everything I've seen so far has been fantastic though, so I'm saying that quite a lot. The walrus is nothing really special. Ah, that's a shame. That's actually the first one I've checked, which is completely the same other than the mule, but the mule isn't in the campaign, so yeah. The sunfish, also the same, although completely wonderful looking. Okay, it seems like we're going to have a look and find another one ourselves, a little bit more manually. Once the brave scourge of many new players, the coffin nail has been changed ever so slightly to now be infinitely scarier. Yep, it is a giant evil wasp creature. I mean, did you expect that? Because I didn't expect that, I've got to be honest. And this is definitely winning the award so far of creepiest of the April 1st designs. Imagine purchasing the game now and fighting one of these early on. Just imagine this. Like one of your first battles, everything's going fine, then this shows its face. Coming in, it's over 600,000 metal. This is a very expensive and terrifying new version of the old. The coffin nail, I don't even know what to call you anymore. I haven't actually seen this one myself yet, so from the preview image, this is looking very, very confusing. This is replacing the Kraken. So what exactly is it? It's, once more, it's a ram. It's a sheep. It's a Rambo ram. It's a Rambo ram. It's Rambo. Oh, I get the joke. That's actually amazing. Oh, I wish that hammer moved. I wonder if it does. I wonder if this by any chance is actually a control block thing. Let's have a quick look-see before we move on to the next. There we are. We're now on it. Hello, Kraken ram. Let's have a quick look-see at your arm. It does look a little bit detached, but is it, is the question. Oh, I see control blocks, but they are in a place which would hint this isn't movable. Just quickly do that. Oh, no, it does seem to be, because it's not minimizing with the rest. Is this attached in a way? Oh, come on, please be a spin block. I can't tell. It doesn't look like it is. But how it's moved out like this is hinting it is, but I can't see any connection point, which would make it so. How about if we put it into a fight? Maybe I'm just missing something. Okay, there we go. There's an enemy Shrike. What are you going to do now? The head's trying to move, but can't. The arm's moving. The gun arm is, at least. Where are those control blocks? What do they do? What do the control blocks do? Hello. They are rotation speeds. Yeah, and it's object in front of us. Oh, yeah, so it does seem like this is a control block. Also, that was a lot of missiles. However, we did spawn in something which could dodge missiles, so whoops-a-daisy there. I'm going to be looking for the spin block forever, aren't I? Let's just assume it's a spin block, and we'll find out when we get it into a fight. Let's move on to the next vessel. There's still quite a few left by the looks of it. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's just the very outer piece. Okay, so it's just the very outer section, not the whole lot. Okay, I get it now. I don't think they could resist reusing the Sonic/hamster model. So here we are, replacing the Sea Viper. We have an adorable tiny hamster, which I can't see any weaponry of. But the rules of the combat, which we'll be doing in the next episode, do dictate that all of the April 1st vehicles must be entered for the Battle Royale. This, of course, also means this tiny, adorable hamster, which I'm already feeling very, very bad for. Okay, let's not spawn that on land. So, to replace the Plunderer, one of the best of the vessels of the Deepwater Guard, we have a really broken build duck with very, very derpy missile eyes, and a very nasty looking advanced cannon, honestly. If this thing actually gets to see the target, this might be a little bit terrifying. And it even comes with a seat hidden on the back of the neck. How considerate of the developers and the creators of all of these weird, weird vehicles. Can the neck move? It doesn't seem like it can, but I have been proven wrong with that in the past, so we'll have to find out during combat, or of course, we could just spawn in an enemy and find out, yep, it can move towards the enemy. Are you going to let loose your missiles? Or are they just for staring? You definitely have missiles, perhaps you're just out of range. Oh, it's even an anti-air weapon. Just let this image haunt your dreams, lads. Just look upon the damaged duck, firing, destroying, with malice and anger. Using its tongue cannon. It's tonguing that aircraft to death. So it seems like I have covered all of the vehicles, although I want to do one last thing before we go, and that's to spawn in the coffin nail on the Deepwater Guard side, because of course they have been using my colour scheme over their own. This is what the Deepwater Guard variant looks like in the campaign, and honestly, that looks a lot more terrifying, especially since it's now shooting out missiles. It also seems like I've covered all the variants like I just said, so if you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Once I've posted the battle version of this episode and made it public, there will be a link to that in the description, and if I have missed any of the variants, I do apologise. It is a little bit difficult to tell which ones have changed and which ones haven't, especially since there have been a load of new ships and new vehicles added to the Deepwater Guard very recently. Well, with that, thank you again for watching, and goodbye.